Hello, and thank you for stopping by on the Therapist Poetry Podcast, where we meet real people from real life and they share their real experiences with us, their real stories. We're actually about to go and meet a therapist now, so follow me and let's go meet them. Oh, I nearly forgot. If you are moved by their story, then don't forget to let them know and leave them a comment. Don't be stingy and keep all that positivity to yourself. Hello, and today we're very lucky to have Louisa, also known as KL Aspen, who is a creative therapist and author. And today you're here to talk about your experience with self-image and self-perception and how that's has affected your life and how it can. Thank you for coming on, Louisa.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thanks, Ricky.
And could you tell us a little bit about your experience and a little bit about you?
Yes, so as Ricky said, I'm a creative therapist, and I got into this work really because of my own material, wanting to know more about me. And also, I've always been really creative, so I find that creative expression can really help us with our emotions. And so basically, I've found out in recent years that I'm an HSP, and that stands for a highly sensitive person.
Yeah.
About 20% of the population are HSPs, and it's a kind of neurodiversity. So we feel things very intensely and we process things very deeply. And that can also be interpreted by some people that don't understand as not coping. So, as we know, some people don't like emotions too much.
Mm.
So, yeah, in my case, it led to that kind of labeling of like, you're this kind of person who's not going to cope very well in life.
Mm.
And that's really what the poem's about.
Okay, I can really hear how that's affected you and how other people are involved. I was really surprised as well to hear that 20% of the population,
Yeah.
that's an amazing stat.
Yeah, yeah. It's just really good to normalize it because it's quite a gift to be able to process things so deeply and feel things on that level. But obviously, it comes at a cost.
Mm. Yeah. And as you say, normalize it and kind of get it out there. So
Yeah,
I've been practicing for 3 or 4 years now, and I'd only heard of HSP around 6 months ago. So, and when you consider 20% of the population, it's amazing that I hadn't heard of that before. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what prompted you to write your poem?
So, as I said a minute ago, I am really creative and I particularly love writing. So, I've joined various writing groups and I was in a community called the Wild Writing Community,
Wow.
run by a woman called Laurie Wagner. And she used to do like prompts that were other people's poems. And in some ways, that kind of sets you more free to have kind of a prompt that you're not really expecting. It takes you into your unconscious more.
Mm.
So she read this wonderful piece by a woman called Maggie Smith called Good Bones. And then I wrote my piece of the same title.
Uh,
If you're a writer or you just enjoy writing, I really recommend like getting together with other people and finding different creative prompts to kind of come at things sideways.
mm. That's great. I mean, I'm really looking forward to hearing your poem, knowing that that's from a prompt, so it's kind of come from your
Yeah.
unconscious as well. There,
Yeah.
cool. And so, what is the theme of your poem?
So very often there's a mismatch between who we truly are and what people tell us we are or who they tell us we are. And that can lead to a lot of negative beliefs about ourselves. So that's really what the theme is.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
self-concept and organismic
Yeah.
value and process coming in there, who you really are and what we take on from others. Yeah. And so what parts of your life have been impacted?
So I think this kind of messaging is really pervasive. I used to feel like I couldn't do things or try things, and there was a lot of anxiety. But the good thing is that it led to an extensive study of trauma and therapy and how to manage anxiety, which I've been able to share with lots of people.
Mm. And can you name one thing that had a negative impact on your self-perception?
Um, Basically, like everybody,
Yeah.
my brain has a negative bias. Our brains are like programmed to look for threats. And if we've had a lot of negative experience, then our brain filters out all the good stuff.
Mm.
So I just think that aspect of me, I know that I can and have been quite negative in like what I look around at the world and how people respond to me. I expect it to be negative, and that compounds the problem.
Mm. I can really difficult that would be if you're expecting that already as well, and
Yeah, exactly.
kind of getting involved in relationships and how that can affect relationships.
Yeah, and like doing things like this and like speaking in public
Yeah,
and, expecting to be judged, it kind of shuts us down, really. And then we can't be our true selves.
yeah, yeah.
And then that leads to more judgment.
Mm. I hope, yeah, I would hope that no one will be judging you today, Louisa, and that we're really thankful that you've come on today and you're sharing your experience with us. How has counselling helped you to understand your life in relation to this self-perception?
I've had lots of therapy. I've tried lots of different things, and it's kind of been a long journey of unpicking what's happening. But it wasn't until I realised that I actually wasn't faulty that I got started to get more confidence.
And what came from the realization of not being faulty? Was that part of counselling?
That was part of like starting to have some accurate mirroring of who I actually was,
Yeah,
rather than, because hopefully in therapy you're not judged.
yeah,
So you can kind of let your true self be seen and heard.
yeah. I think that's it's a really interesting,
Mm.
and I wonder how that was for you. If you sometimes you worry about being judged. I wonder how the experience of therapy at first was.
I actually felt like I trusted the therapy process. I felt like I will be accepted here.
Yeah.
So it was really nice for me to be able to be vulnerable.
Mm. I mean, what a gift that is to offer you a place where you don't feel judged.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And is there any counselling theory that has helped you to understand, to work on this?
Yeah. A lot, as I said, I've done quite a bit of different, exploring different theories and methods that might be able to help me. And then I've obviously been able to translate it into helping other people. But creative therapies, I always found wonderful because they just come out of the different place in your brain, the more intuitive place. So that feels really free. And then you can see on the page something about yourself that you didn't know before.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about creative therapy, and about poetry and kind of getting the prompts.
Yeah.
Is there some more I mean, I'm imagining art in my head, or there's some
Oh
other.
yeah, I've done some yeah, person-centered art therapy.
Oh,
I've learned, and that's really great. I've used that a lot in my work, especially with children.
yeah.
And I've done something called the Sesame approach, which is a really lovely approach to drama therapy, and it's largely non-verbal, but you use like themes and stories like that are universal to humans.
Oh, wow.
So
Did you say Caesarea? Caesarea?
sesame, like the sesame seed.
Okay, the sesame seed.
And it's really come from, the like story of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. And the magic word to open the cave of treasures was open sesame. So
Okay.
it's about opening our lives,
Yeah.
hearts to all these treasures, because sometimes we think of the unconscious as being like this awful minefield, but really there's so much wonderful stuff in there.
Mm. And I can hear for you that all that wonderful stuff has been kind of pulled out of you during doing the creative therapies for
Yeah,
yourself as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like my lifeline. If nobody else is there, if all my other ways of finding support are not there, I can always fall into creativity because it's not going to leave me.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like the next question, I feel like we've answered a little bit there, which is name one thing that had a positive impact.
Yeah, so really it's about being able to, first of all, be myself with certain people. So if we find people that can receive us and mirror us, or just like really see who we are and not judge us, I think that's the thing that's really helped. And through studying therapy, I've met fantastic colleagues, fantastic clients, and I've also got lovely friends. I think, it's probably important to mix with people that can see you rather than people that judge you. We don't really need that, do we?
And I mean, I can hear in that there's something in there of beginning to trust yourself and beginning to love yourself
Yeah,
and to find the people that do that
yeah,
as well, so that you can spend more time with those people and really love yourself and
yeah.
yourself that.
There's this a way of working that I've studied called AEDP. It stands for Accelerated Emotional Dynamic Psychotherapy, and it's like an attachment-based approach in which it's all about attunement, and they talk about increasing your receptive affective capacity,
Okay.
which sounds like a mouthful, but very, it is a mouthful. Yeah, very often, like we're really like limited. There's a very limited doorway in what we let in. If we already believe something, which is often negative, sometimes it's very hard to take in the positive.
Yeah.
And it's like really important to work on stretching our capacity to take in the good stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a positive therapy, and
Yeah, yeah,
the other side of it, black or
yeah.
white thinking comes to mind as well. And so one last question, which is, what advice would you give others experiencing a difficult view of themselves?
What I'd like to say is just because you might have had, for instance, caregivers that didn't see who you were because they were incapable of giving you love or helping you to experience a felt sense of being loved and accepted, that does not mean that you're unlovable.
That's really beautiful advice. Touched me a little bit there as well. So thank you very much for your advice, and thank you for coming on as well. We're all really excited to hear your poem. Are you ready to share that with us?
Absolutely. Good bones. I have good bones. I must have. So much falling and not a single fracture. Not like my sister who broke her ribs when she slipped off her bike in Scotland on wet leaves. Or my brother who cracked his collarbone changing a light bulb. From my childhood window, I watched passers-by stumble on neglected pavements, slip into the gutter in the dark. No one said, "This place could be beautiful." I must have good bones, though no one told me. At first, I was afraid of walking. At first, I only shuffled till my teenage cousin coaxed me across the unruly garden through blades of glass and dandelions into his arms. I wish my mother had told me about my bones, how solid and strong they were, how they could hold everything, protect my heart, keep me together, how they would carry me far away to sunny destinations where I would ask for the bill in Bulgarian, eat spicy food, barter in Turkish markets, dive off a boat into the Mediterranean. My mother never told me what I'd survived. I don't remember my escape, how I'd kicked and scuffled my way out of danger, how fast I ran, how my feet knew what to do. A family secret. It was her last gift to me as her mind was leaving. I never felt sturdy. I believed I would go over on my ankles and never recover. I always thought I would never recover. Decades later, in the mirror, I can see I am still here. No plaster cast in sight, not even a visible scar.
Thank you for watching. Seriously, it means the world to me and our guests that you took the time to watch. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it really does help the channel to grow. And equally, you won't miss what's coming next if you do that. The aim of this channel and what me and the guests are trying to do is we're trying to inspire, and we're also trying to give other people a sense of belonging. And at the very least, we're trying to make other people feel seen and heard. And that's our hope with this channel. If this video spoke to you anyway, then please do check out our other videos just here. We will catch you in the next episode.